So I am recording this for anyone who's absent. Victor, what's the maximum mean? What did you say? Good. Highest value. Beautiful. Stephen, what does minimum mean? Perfect. Lowest number, lowest value. Corey, what's the range? The difference between the highest and lowest, or your max minus your min. The range also tells you the spread of your data. So how spread out your data is. Tyreek, what's the median? Yes. Middle number, when you line them up, it's the middle value. So you got to line them up from least to greatest. Jaslyn, what's the outlier? If I said that somebody's like an outlier, what would that mean? Anyone know what the word outlier means? It's on the sides, yeah. It's either really small or really big. It's a value that's way bigger or way smaller than the other values. So like if y'all got around like a 70 test grade and then Victor got a 5, Victor would be an outlier. He would be a low outlier, but it's something way smaller or way bigger than the rest of your data. So outlier, number that's way smaller or bigger. Or larger. And so just because something's a max or min doesn't mean it's an outlier. It's got to be significantly bigger or smaller. What about quartile? What word's in quartile? Quart. So like quarter. How much is a quarter worth? 25 cents, right? Quartile is 25% of your data. And so that's what we'll be focusing on next class, quartiles. Mode. Number that appears the most. So remember, it's not your max, but it's a number that appears the most. Here. Cool. This one, 25% of your data. Cool. Y'all good with that? So I am gonna, for time's sake, we would do it by hand. Y'all only have 2 weeks, so you take that milestone. So we're gonna be doing this all in your calculator. Another reason you should make sure to get these calculators because you can't do this if you don't have that calculator. So make sure you get a calculator. We're gonna learn how to do each of these things, but using a calculator. So we're gonna go to this sheet right here. Actually, I lied. We're gonna go right here. So we already did our vocabulary, so you can kind of skip over it. And so we're doing this first one right here. So you can do it by hand. How many people are not planning on getting a calculator? So I'm going to show you how to do it on a calculator first. If you are not, then I'll show you how to do it by hand. But if you're planning on getting a calculator, then I want you to do it through the calculator. So you're going to flip the paper over. We're going to make like a little calculator cheat sheet because there are certain buttons, but it's like finding an app on your phone, right? Like you remember where the app is, it's in some weird folder, but you eventually will always remember it. So what you're going to do, the first button you're going to press to flip that paper over. You're just doing like a cheat sheet for yourself. First button you're clicking is data. So the first button we click is data. Now see, there might be your X's and Y's may have stuff in it. Click delete on all the L1 and L2. My other class is using them too, so they're always probably going to be filled. So I click delete on L1, L2, so everything's cleared out. So data, then delete on all values in L1. Everyone there. Then we type our values into L1. So we type numbers into L1. And we click enter after each time. So on your sheet, I could see that there's, I want you to type the ones that are in your sheet. So we can say they have 3, enter, 6, enter, and I'll write them on the board. Flip back and forth. So we have 3, 6, this is number 1 on your worksheet. 7, 8, 11, 2, and 4. That's example 1. So you put them all in there, 6, 7, 8, 11, 2, and 4. And you click enter after each time. Does everyone have that down? Mm-hmm. Is that all the ones that were in? Yep. So when you're using your calculator, when you're doing it by hand, you're going to have to put them in order. When you're using the calculator, you do not need to put them in order. So that's the nice thing about having these calculators and knowing you're going to have one because you have your own on your test. You don't need to do all that extra work. Then what you do, once you have them in, you press that second button at the very top corner, data. And so when you do that, you'll see it's highlighted on 1 bar stats. That's what you're going to be using. So then you just click enter, I think 4 or 5 times. Enter 4 times. So you do second, data, and then enter 4 times. Y'all see that? So now it gives you all your information. Does everyone see the list of information where it says n equals x with a line equals? Do you guys see all that? So that x with a line, does anyone know what that represents? Probably not. X with a line is your mean. So if they're asking for your average or your mean, that's the x with the line over it. It's number 2. When you keep scrolling down, do you guys see when you get to min, see how it says min x? You guys all see that? Min, what do you guys think that is? Your minimum. Q1 is your first quartile. That means your first quarter of data. So your Q1 is your lower quartile, or quartile 1. What do you think MED stands for? Median, which higher kilos is the middle number. Then you keep going down as Q3, and that's your upper quartile. So your upper 25% of your data. And what do you think max means? Maximum. So if you don't have this calculator, you have to do that all by hand. So you're gonna have to like do it, and I'll show you how to do it by hand. But this gives it to you, and you don't even need to fit order. It saves you time. These 5 things right here are known as your 5-number summary. So right here is your 5-number summary. So when they ever ask for your 5-number summary, they're talking about those 5 things that are right in a row. Those are the only things that we're going to be using in this unit for this kind of lesson. All the other stuff on that list, you don't really need to know until you're in statistics. Cool. So now that we know what that means, does everyone have this written down? Go to the front of your page, and I want you to fill in each of these things. So we already typed the data, and you already have it in. You should be able to figure out what's your mean, median, your mode, range, max, and min. I'm also going to add Q1 and Q3. So see if you can fill that in. Mm-hmm. I'll give you one. you should already have those numbers typed in. And remember, it's important to not go too fast because if you skip one, then the answer is all going to be wrong. You're just filling it in right from your calculator. You already typed all this stuff in. And you do second data. This is the same one. Well, yes. That empty the line number is your mean. All right, y'all know what you're doing with this, right? We're all good? We all know how to type this in? Okay. So, Kamari, what is the mean? 5.8.
Oh.
5.8. Well, let's round to the nearest hundred. So that it's 5.7, and that 7's going to round the 5 up to a 6. So 5.86 would be your mean. Then we keep scrolling down, and then Damon, what's the minimum? You don't know? Keandra, what's the minimum? 2. So you should have scrolled down, or you can literally look at my numbers and go, which one's the smallest? 2. Q1, Victor, what did you get for that one? You didn't get that one yet. Brandon, what about you? Q1 on your calculator? Can you scroll down? What did you get, Keandra? 3, right? When you keep scrolling down, Q1 was 3. What was the median, Michael? 6. And Q3, Stephen, did you get that one? Q3. 8. And then your maximum, Kamari. 11. What's your range? You guys told me it. Actually, Kamari told me it. What was it? What minus what? Highest minus lowest, or max minus min. And so I can see, okay, here's my max, 11, minus my min. What's 11 minus 2? 9. And mode is the most. Remember, they sound alike. So mode is, or Miss Thompson taught me, beast mode, right? Like those people that are doing the most. What number appears the most, or is in beast mode? Are there any numbers that repeat? No, so there's actually no mode. The last thing I want to go over with you guys real quick, this is all we're doing, so just practice with this, is interquartile range. It looks like this, IQR. What IQR is, interquartile range means Q3 minus Q1. So remember, range is max minus min. Interquartile range, they give you this definition on your sheet. So if you look on that blue sheet, most of y'all have one at least around you. You can see it has interquartile range, and it gives you the definition. It's Q3 minus Q1. So what is Q3? 8 minus Q1. What's 8 minus 3? 9. So interquartile range is the range of your quartiles. Range is your max minus your min. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, so try the next one. So go back to data. And if you click data again, it says clear L1. You could just click enter on that, and it will clear all your L1 instead of you clicking delete a million times. So